Good evening, everyone. Thank you for being here tonight. Clerk, please call the roll.
Certainly. Councilperson Kazarian? Present. Councilperson Lavasa?
Present.
Councilperson Solano?
Present.
Councilperson Figueroa? Present. Councilperson Baena? Absent. Councilperson Martinez? Absent. Council President Ferry?
Present.
We have quorum.
All please rise for the pledge.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
I'd like to acknowledge that Councilperson Baena has walked in from the council meeting. Next item on the agenda is public comment.
No one has signed up. Seeing no one,
Next item on the agenda under number 4 is approval of records and meeting minutes from May 22nd, 2024 special council meeting.
everyone review the minutes. Satisfied.
Councilperson Baena? Councilperson Kazarian?
Yes.
Councilperson Figueroa?
Yes.
Councilperson Solano?
Yes.
Councilperson Lavasa? Councilperson Ferry?
Yes.
Motion passes. Observe.
Before we begin, both chiefs are here and the other DPWs. But I want to thank both chiefs for their effort on Monday. We had a good time. Thank you for anything that with your personnel, well represented, both police and fire department, honor guards, vehicle, motorcycle, fire truck. I want to thank you very, very much. DPW here. And also the vehicle. I'm sure that was correct.
Next item on the agenda on 5, new business, is discussion of department directors regarding fiscal year 25 proposed budget. Central Falls Fire Department, we have Chief Melvin.
Good evening, council. Thank you when we present our budget for 2025. City Clerk Governor Woodward, Finance Director Mary Sigmund is also here, Colonel Lewis. A lot of support. The Mayor, the Finance Director, he's from Alberta as the City Clerk, and all the requests I've had this past year. The Central Falls Fire Department has a mission to provide excellent fire control and suppression services to the community. The mission is to protect life and property as our #1 priority. We also provide emergency and non-emergency medical care and transport. The Central Falls Fire Department is a community-focused fire department that strives for the highest quality of fire suppression and emergency medical services. We will achieve this by being a well-trained professional rapid response team that serves the Central Falls community. And as is in the budget book, it lays out our staff, the number of people. And at this time, about 1 firefighter. The lateral to Providence, I have 2 in the State Fire Academy, so the first whoever's #1 will get sworn in immediately right after they graduate on June 28th. In about 3.5 weeks, graduating from the academy, and then they'll train in-house for 3 weeks, and then be in the truck. And we'll be fully staffed, with the exception of anybody that's in vehicle or homesick. Some of the goals I laid out for last year, we've accomplished a lot of those. Some of the apparatus replacement, the new engine, accomplished for the staff vehicles, the training officer, that's ongoing, the replacement of bunker gear, which is the night hitch and coat, firefighters by state law, so we replaced every 10 years. There's only 2 or 3 firefighters, their 10th year is now about 1 to 3 years, so the rest have been firefighter gear. And we're always actively recruiting members and looking for members of the community to join the Central Falls Fire Department. This last application period, there were 2 down at the academy. We had approximately 50 apply. There was about 20 candidates that passed all the parts of the testing. And it's Joseph Vasquez and Milton Gia, and the 2 firefighters. We will continue to work with the assistance of the HR director, and that's always an ongoing process of recruiting. Some of the goals for next year, some of the battery operated extrication equipment I'm trying to get through a grant. I'm working with the State Department of Transportation. They get grants from NHTSA, which is the National Highway Safety Transportation Association, and all battery operated jaws extrication. So when we have a bad accident, we have to come to a lot of cars. Right now we still have the older side, which most fire departments have, is switching to battery operated, which is a motor, the hydraulic lines, and we have to bring over to the vehicle and pump the water. And this is much quicker. Life safety is much a higher percentage of saving someone's life and getting into the hospital. I'm working on that. Then it's already been submitted. So to Gadia Body, she runs that division at the State Department of Transportation. She assured me that she's supporting it down to the feds. And if they approve it, we'll be getting that equipment. And that equipment is worth about $53,000, which the Department of Transportation will be purchasing. The new fire hose, spending a grant to the Sinisi Foundation. That is actor Gary Sinise. People that don't know him, that was Lieutenant Dan in the movie Forrest Gump. He's a big supporter of police and fire after 9/11. He had some close friends, and he supports Allison Powers and firefighters and police all over the country. And we do ongoing training. There's other items, Mayday training, internal training, in hazardous materials, in buildings, as we discovered. I was telling at the director's meeting this week, the Osram facility, that's storage and transportation. They go in and it's stored, and then it's distribution plant. And they have, only supposed to have a little bit of hazardous materials, like 5 pounds. They have 36 tons. We found out accidentally, the fire alarm came in, and we walked around the building searching for it. They have rack storage with 55-gallon drums all the way to the ceiling, to the roof. So we met with the owners, the distributors, the state fire marshals with us, we're all down there, they're going to be in the process of moving it. Because the evacuation, if there was an incident, it's water reactive, so if there was a fire, we start spraying water, it's volatile, the evacuation in all directions is one straight line. That's the whole city. So that is a big one for us. We will always continue to identify hazardous situations, hazardous materials, buildings, etc. Try to rectify that. This past year, I have some numbers from 2023 and then the current numbers. Last year we had approximately 4,749 calls, almost 5,000 calls in North Carolina. 3,382 were EMS calls, fire-related calls, when it was 1,400. Usually that we requested when our rescue was busy, we need more rescues. 950 were almost 1,000 calls that we couldn't service because the truck was already on EMS call. So these numbers will be over 6,000 total between every single call. That's a lot of runs, a lot of calls on one square mile. Really is. The wear and tear on the vehicles, it's maybe we can test a ones requesting, increase the repair budget because these trucks great. It's expensive to fix them. We provided mutual aid 343 times and structure fires in and out of Central Falls, approximately 30. This year already, we're at almost 1,900 calls, 1,300 medical calls, 500 fire-related calls, 529, mutual aid into the city, over 300, 160 going out of the city. With our rescue building, they request our help, we have to help them, they're always helping us. And structure fires already, 13 building fires this year. So that is where we stand with the numbers right now. Some of the new, and they're not line item in the budget book, we have 30 items, 29 basically for the fire departments. One of them is fuel, which binds everything in the city, buses, police, fire, all of this. So 29, 12 of those are items that I worked on the budget. The other 18 are contractual and CPA, so this is no movement from my end. The new equipment that we've gotten so far, these are purchases by the city that supported us, Alberto, working with Mary and the mayor signing off. We got some new ice water / water rescue equipment. It's almost completely in, new suits for the firefighters that they have to get in the suit, get in the water. And that's on the way. That was a $10,000 purchase. 2 new CPR devices. One is going on the new engine, one will be on the rescue. We use them all the time. We had one previously from the Housing Authority, and we appreciate that. But we do go on a lot of, say, codes, which are heart attacks, people are unconscious. And it's very difficult to stay around and the health department requires us to be there for 30 minutes. It's 20 minutes, best chance of survivability. So, been around for a while, it'll be 30 minutes of no CPR. The guy gets exhausted, so they can jump in. Everybody's got a different position in the body, which is dangerous. These machines, once you put it on a person, it's perfectly, it's like the ones they have in the hospital. Perfect impressions on the person. And then we can actually move them up, downstairs, on the back road. So those two are on the process of being purchased. Obviously, the new engine truck. And the last thing is the dispatch software. That will get us current with the state of Rhode Island because they're changing. 911 system, all dispatch reporting system. So that'll be new. It's called Symposium. And that's in the process of being built, implemented, and training is ongoing. And we should be up and running by the first week of July. The city council people support us. The mayor, huge supporters, Alberto, Mary, and like I said, besides the grants, they've also purchased some of the equipment we need. Some of the incidents that we've had, we had a fire in Pawtucket within the last 6-8 months. It was a fatal fire. We went there. We had to vent the roof because the firefighters were running all on one side. They were kind of trapped in over Westport Avenue. And unfortunately, the woman on the first floor was handicapped and she did not make it. So our firefighters did vent the roof and help mitigate the travel because the house is very tight there, so we couldn't expand it. Then the ice water rescue equipment that I requested, it came to be because some of our equipment is very outdated. The life of the water suits that the firefighters put on, I've supposed in it, they've been there for 20 years. We had a young man, 15-year-old man, who jumped in the water and got the shocks. The water's cold. Never really figured out why he did. He was a Pawtucket resident. My guys got on the dock. We also got up on the bridge. They were able to, because he was young and he was able-bodied, and he hadn't been in there that long, threw him in the life ring. We had guys getting suited up. They were going to go in anyway. And he got his arm on the life ring, we pulled him over, and got him out of the water. We still sent him to Hasbro to be checked. And that's why that equipment is so vital, because that water is moving back to shocks. That water is really moving, and when it's cold, it takes a while to warm up. So that was that. Some of the the other incidents, where they saved Lincoln Ave, which is the learning community. We had a young lady, child, drop down 20 feet, one of the grates over on the other side of the building, stepped on it and flipped. She went down. She didn't bang her head. She was okay. We still took her to the hospital, but my guys did a rope rescue, which is very intense, very unique. They had to go down high ropes and get the young lady out. High Street, a 20-foot drop off the wall, a gentleman fell in the water. And they couldn't get a boat fast enough, so again, we did a rope rescue, the Stokes litter, which is that big curved tip stretcher, the person in, let them off, and they got him out. The extrication equipment, all of these incidents relate to the equipment we put in for at a request, major accident. Within the last year, on Broad Street, right, you say about 5 people trapped, multiple extrications. That's why this battery operated equipment, hoping and praying that the state finally calls me and says, we got it. We had help from other communities, there were 5 young people trapped. 1 did not make it, one man. That's why the battery operating was taken. It's like one equipment basically. That's the big 6-hour battery, plug it in, go right there and start your extrication, which is the jaws of cutting your car open. And the CPR equipment with multiple codes. Unfortunately, some we were able to save, some not so lucky. A gentleman on High Street, we brought him back. He was older, in the hospital. He did not make it in the hospital. Real unfortunate, it was on West Street, made it longer than off the clutch. The guys went there, they worked on both women and man. They had a pulse on both of them, they went to the hospital, delivered, passed. He is still alive. His situation, he is still alive. That is the equipment, those are some of the incidences that this life-saving equipment has allowed us to do in the firefighters. That's why we're always training. Whatever we catch, like that incident on the house ran, we needed to get more authorities and more jurisdiction of people in, because that would be a disaster for the whole city. That if something that happened, I don't think they did it intentionally. They thought because it was all wrapped up, the drones would see it. But when we were done, it's forklift, right? We're driving a forklift with his phone buzzes, and we use his phone, the forklift goes to the barrel full of chemicals, which they use in bleach products. This chemical is added to bleach products, it's dangerous.
Is it all removed?
Yeah, they have thousands of drones there. A lot.
Are they given a turnaround time when this has to?
They haven't, they told us they're gonna move and stop moving it. Deputy chief and some of the other fire marshals going to go on there before the end of the week and said, I need an update on Friday on what's happening with this stuff. Because the state of Rhode Island and the DEM came to them and told them they have way more authority than us.
Time is of the essence, I don't know the city.
Pretty much it. If you have any questions, let me know. I'm happy to answer any of your questions.
Where do we go, one man?
Yeah, one firefighter, reliable process.
Two quick questions. So it's more on the department staff, not that we I just a question. So I looked at last year's budget and at that time you had 41 people. Now you have 43. Is that contractual? How does that work?
Yes, because in the, if you look on the page that out my goals in the budget book, that's exactly what's in the charter. And that is spelled out: 1 chief, 1 deputy, 4 battalion chiefs, 4 captains, 8 lieutenants, privates, at different ranks, and then the total then, so it's like 10 members per group, myself, the deputy chief, and my secretary.
Yeah. I guess, I was just wondering, because it said like, you're down 2 members in the thing, but now you're updating us, it's only 1, right?
Yes, and I had put 2 because
At that time. It was-
at that time.
that makes sense. Okay, yeah, I was just wondering, because, in the previous, so FY24 budget book, the staff number is 41, now it is 43, which I think is great, because like you just mentioned, all of the calls and all of the amazing things that you guys do, and it sounds like you need a lot of people for all of that, so.
Well, I've been here, March was 3 years, and about 2 months ago was the first time in 3 years we had all the people.
Wow,
Then one of the young guys on the
yeah,
province.
wow,
But we have 2 many academies, so as soon as he comes out, we'll be sworn in, we'll be back to 44.
yeah, that's awesome. And I also love to see all of my schoolmates on your team. Like a lot of the newer guys, I went to school with them, and so I love to see that they're involved in the city and, they're on the department.
Which, a lot of the guys from the city too, a lot of them are bilingual, which helps us because I'm proud that we have our dispatchers in-house. And, because if the dispatcher doesn't speak Spanish, there's a firefighter in every group, at least 1, maybe 2 or 3. They'll pick up the phone, or they'll get ready on the truck, they translate, and then run to the truck this way. Makes it, I know they're going through something if they're calling us, but
Right.
it makes it a little more comfortable. We can get better information
Of course.
when we get out the door.
Super important, yeah. I also love your emphasis on improving your team, female team.
Trying.
I know.
We always put it out there, and the last time we had a couple that took the written test, but they didn't pass the written test.
Yeah.
And they have to take that agility test that the state provides. That's that.
Yeah,
Trust
but
me,
I
they-
do
they
like
pass.
it. I
Oh,
like
yeah.
it. And then the accommodation committee, just wanted to say that it's awesome because, people do thrive when, when they're being recognized
Oh, yeah.
for their work.
I recognize them internally, and I said, I'm still working on that. There was always big items, trying to get the equipment, the trucks the last 2 years, finally leveled off with all that. So now I'm gonna get the guys, and they'll review it. We had that out in the school, where there was a big fire, and the guy made a rescue. Panel of 5 or 6 firefighters would look at it and say, this is worthy of this level. It's like being in the military. Maybe not the highest on it, but you on a low level.
Chief, thank you. I know you guys expose yourself in a lot of different situations in which you have to go out of there and kind of solve and prevent accident from happening. It's very safe for people and some unfortunately. Thank you for that. Let's have a quick question about those 2 new members that you're expecting in June. Are they the budget, the salary budget that you reflected here? Are they included in the 2 that's coming?
I believe so, yes.
Yes.
Yes, I know your budget is pretty balanced and this overall budget is pretty balanced. Thank you so much.
First of all, thank you. The other thing I noticed from this, I don't know. I noticed that overtime and detail overtime.
The overtime is when they're working on the truck or within the fire department. The detail overtime, it's classified that way, but that is if they're on a big detail.
Oh, okay.
There's really no way to differentiate it. People talk to me about that. It was the same way in the city. Police and fire, they pay through the city budget and then the company. If it's an event or construction, they have to reimburse the city.
I have one quick question. Are the shifts still 7 men or did it move to the 8 men yet?
July 1st.
Perfect. Thank you. I ask every year, so. Yes, everyone. Yeah.
That's the minimum.
Yep.
But if nobody's on vacation, when it calls out, or nobody's hurt, there'll be 10 guys.
Okay.
So we have to utilize both engines, the ladder truck. Most of the time it's the one engine, the ladder, both engines, the ladder truck, the rescue, and the chief. Thank you. Thank you all.
Council President, I'd like to, next item on the agenda is order number 2, under business, the Central Falls Police Department. We have Colonel Wilson here.
Good evening, members of the City Council, Chief of Ag Finance. First, on behalf of the men and women of the Central Falls Police Department, I'd like to express our condolences to Natalie Foreman Chase. I'm not sure if everybody knows her. She's my executive assistant, great person. Her father recently passed away. As some of you may know, she's been serving the city of Central Falls since 1987. And her father served in the police officers in 1965 and retiring in 1986. So I just wanted to send out support. As we look back on the past several years to include current, Central Falls has made tremendous progress. As a direct result of the tireless work performed by the men and women of the Central Falls Police Department, the city continues to experience a consistent lower crime rate that hasn't been seen since 1980. It's my pleasure to say that trend continues through 2024. That's not to say that we don't have our challenges, but I can share with you that your department leads the way and is a national model in the way of community policing. Members of the Central Police Department respond to approximately 37,000 calls a year. And that's more calls per capita than any other municipality in the state of Rhode Island. We're most with the least. And I just want to take a pause like over the years. So just to thank the mayor, the mayor's team, and all the city council for all of you. Without your support, we would not be where we are. So it definitely takes city. So those calls range from keeping the peace, traffic accidents, confronting violent crimes in all its forms. I applaud the agency for their tireless work and the resources provided by our many partners such as Community for People Family Services, Blackstone, Rhode Island Coalition for Domestic Violence, the Institute of Nonviolence, Thundermist, and so many more. The newly implemented red light and speed camera traffic control programs have assisted in reducing the number of overall accidents throughout the city. Every traffic accident, as you know, is simply put, is one that you may not walk through. And in part, that program has played to reducing the traffic accidents by 12% since its implementation. Through the hard work of the Central Falls Police Department in partnership with the FBI, DEA, State Police, the ATF, the U.S. Attorney's Office, and the Attorney General's Office, local agencies, and more, we have been able to take, last year, 34 firearms on the streets of Central Falls. All while responding to thousands of calls per year, the Central Falls Police Department strives to provide the best service possible to the community and to all those that visit our great city. I would like to emphasize our mission would not be successful without the assistance of our fire department. You know, each call for service, there's a lot that goes into it in the police and the fire side, and it becomes now feel the norm, but when you're the only entity in society that constantly responds to disturbances, that responds to every death, no matter how it occurs, outside that of a hospital, that does get wear on you after months and then years. So it's again, thank you to Chief Metal and members of the fire department for their hard work. I would like to add, with school ending, everybody knows school's about to end, it's about to wrap up in a few weeks. You will soon see officers again riding bikes and walking throughout the neighborhoods. This is going to lend itself to strengthening and forming relationships throughout the city that we serve. We are proud of what we've accomplished as an agency and are always honored to have received any recognition. Just last year, we received awards from the Department of Transportation, from AAA, and from the Rhode Island Police Chief Association of Community Police Officers of the Year. And I'm proud to say that we were the first in Rhode Island to receive leadership in community policing from the International Association for Chiefs. It's an award that we shared with Dubai. And also, we're going to set to receive in the middle of July another national award from the National Association for School Resource Officers. Also the first in Rhode Island to have received, just going set to receive that award as well. Again, this couldn't be done without the support of everybody. This is our third national award and one international award. Central Falls is leading this state. And again, just thank you all. Any questions?
Thank you, Chief Person. All you do again, to make it flat, they do every day. I use everybody, a lot. And it's good to see another award, it's like another radio show. Thank you again. I have no questions. I'm sure it's what we need. We always use more, I'm sure. And all departments should always use more. So we're not fast, and I know you guys are doing this. With that,
I have a question, if you may. Your staffing, are you fully staffed or are you recruiting still? What is your goal for the year?
So we just had one officer join the agency and hopefully send 3 to the academy, the following academy. And then we'll have one more vacancy, hopefully that brings up the full staff.
National and international recognition, that is great. And we have this one city of the United States, and international recognition is like it's been like something is being done very well, very good to be receiving this recognition. So congratulations for that.
Thank you very much. This is my 4th time before you, and every year, you know, you say, we need this, we need that, this is what's going on. And with the mayor and your support, that happens, and, you know, every year I feel that it produces results. And it's great happening to you.
I do want to thank you for the service.
So just want to echo my thank yous. I think anytime that I've reached out, I know I've reached out, and they're provided guidance, support, insight. So I appreciate the department. I have a question about one of the goals that you had, which was to continue to collaborate after sugar, practice sugar training with the fire department, school department, EMS. I'm just wondering, especially this one.
Actually, this June, we're actually on the kind of efforts with the training facilities. So we train us waiting on a date.
Yeah, that's right. I love that because I mean,
couldn't agree with you more. For 3 years, I was back in 2005. I was school resource officer, and really the biggest high schools in Central Virginia and Mount Pleasant, and I know all too much how important it is. Not for me, but something how good it is to have everybody else.
Yeah, definitely. And I really also just wanted to say I love your goal of essentially this training program to assist seniors who are nearing the age of experience. I've received some calls from people who are like, and sometimes I don't know exactly where to turn, but I try to find resources. But I love to hear that because or to see that because I think, sometimes our seniors feel so like similar to part of my permanency just like showing them how it is and making sure that they're safe and taken care of.
Yeah, I couldn't agree with you more. Every member, well, besides being the newer officers, has gone through elder abuse training to try to, when they respond to scenes, and that's our most vulnerable population. So to try to see the scenes and be that resource for them to the resources that they need. And that's why they're one of our partners. And every officer has the information to make that, bridge that gap.
So thank you for that. I guess one other question was the use of the word violent crime. What defines crime versus crime?
So, yeah, so, well, not just where I am, but the country breaks crimes up into part 1 and part 2 crimes. Part 1, crimes, so now you're talking about your assaults, your homicides, your sexual assaults, all of that nature. And as far as sexual falls is concerned, we have those violent crimes since 2004.
So there's a difference because we have another person. That was a compromise, Mary. Have made
So last year at budget time, the fuel was peaking.
Oh.
Right, so it's not anymore, so it's down just by the national average. You'll see it all across the board, not only in fire, but police and DPW.
Awesome. And then I saw the community policing was going up, which I assume is part of like the priority of getting more officers on bikes and.
Yes, absolutely. So I want to be here. When you think of community policing, it really branches into every corner of the agency. So in our investigative, administrative, and the uniform division. So when you're talking about relationships, that branches into our both uniform and the investigative division. And then when you're talking about organizational change, I facilitated that like 3.5 years ago. Changes, so it takes organization to change. And the last part of that is problem solving. So then you approach issues with problem solving versus just like a one-time hit. So that's.
I have a question. In regards to the elderly abuse training, does your department have a direct senior police advocate? So in my role now, I work directly with the Office of Elderly Aging, so I specialize in elderly abuse. And we have a contact for every city, but we don't have one for Central Falls. So I didn't know if we just want any officer or if there's a specific officer that would handle senior policing.
We do actually.
Okay, yeah. Thank you.
I just want to congratulate your department as my job with the CYF. I've been, in always contact with the police department, and they have been really helpful, with the GO team, so I do like the, partnership.
Yes, yeah, thank you very much. And again, the DCYF is another one of our great partners. And their role, I know sometimes people like when you say that DCYF, but they're really multifaceted inside their approach. They have a lot of resources. And we work with them with the juvenile hearing, but it's like quantitative data, but it's all lends itself to better systems to diminish the prison pipeline, and at the end of the day,
I think it's also important to recognize animal control. You have a very, very strong animal control officer who I work with, and she's gone above and beyond in some situations that have occurred beyond the animal aspect. And we had a resident here that was homeless with dogs, and Charlene literally, I hopped on board to help with some housing things, but literally turned this young lady's life around to where she's now employed, has an apartment. She went from living in a tent behind a gas station. So, that made the news, and, Charlene couldn't really get the recognition due to her position. But I know she goes above and beyond in a lot of situations in the city, and I think it's important to recognize how she's good,
So, and I'll tell you about Charlotte. So, if you just look at over a period of time, her response to animal control in the city has been significant. It was years ago. It was out of control. It was just out of control, and you could tell it once you look at the numbers. We have track of the numbers as well, but it was our ACON control officer, Charlene. The work that she put in that reduced not only the cost for service, but you don't see like strays and things like that walking around if you pay attention to like even a decade ago.
if I see picking it up, calling. But she's the one, I know she has an apartment, but she's the one in advantage, right? So, and I understand that we're a small city and budget and all that, but she really does a great job with the animals, and she gets recognized because of the job that I can.
And a lot of nonprofit.
Absolutely,
Yeah.
absolutely.
And she's kind of like a celebrity. Everyone
is.
loves like Franklin Central Falls Animals. Yeah. Just so much support. Yeah. I had a call from a neighbor, one of my neighbors, saying that he felt proud of the police that is in with the animal control, because he was walking with a little puppy, and he did have a leash, but he was not on the leash. The leash was hanging, and the little girl was walking next to him. So she stopped and said, something, it's better if you put the leash on, put the harness. He was walking to get one harness. He didn't have one. So he called me and he said, look, I like that because she paid attention, she stopped. And I was afraid because I thought she was going to take my dog. But no, she was only letting me know that for safety, do things correctly. And he was fine.
Thanks, Chief, for what you do every day. Keep those awards coming. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Be safe.
Next item of new business, item 3, is the Department of Public Works, code enforcement, G. Barrows.
Mr. Director, before you start, thank you for the weekend. Thank you for the vehicles. Thank my chauffeur Lino, and thank you for all you do every day. I think the park's all look good, and you'll get that flag up quickly. I guess you know, flag was right. I'll take blame for that because I go by that park every day, and I never really, every time I see that flag, I think it's just a wind. I didn't realize it was storm, but we did have a good flag, but unfortunately the main flag was to thank you for the people's bus.
That's what we're here for. Thank you, Councilman, for actually having me here. In Public Works, obviously, we strive to increase the quality of life in the city. And we do that through code enforcement side, and we do that through the Public Works side. In total, our staff is very small, but as the chief says, we do a heck of a lot with very little. We have the housing court that we do every month for housing and environmental stuff that we do. We have the nuisance task force, which basically parking owners who derelict in their duties to maintain their property, so we bring them in and try to coach them to being better citizens and residents. And in our departments, within this last year, we've taken on these women tasks with doing some sidewalk improvement. Again, obviously, our department is very small, and given the fact that at any given time, you have 1 or 2 persons out, and when you have a department, the DPW side, there's only like 8 staff members. Anytime you have 2 people out, it's almost like half of the team there. Over the last 2 years or so, we've been short, on and off, 3 people. I mean, obviously, we've had folks who are out and injured, and we have people calling in sick, and then we have folks that are retired. So we have a couple of people who recently retired, and we've hired 1, so we're still down 2 persons. 1 is on sick leave, and 1 retired. We've been tasked with doing this site work improvement, and along with doing this site work, we will also have to continue to maintain the fields, pick up the trash, pick up the dog station, sweep the street, and do any number of things that are asked of us from members of the city as residents, and also as folks here in City Hall. Some of our goals are pretty much, most of the things you said from last year were ongoing stuff. I think some of the newer stuff that we have here is, as you know, folks call us all the time about what can I do with this piece of furniture, what can I do with this liquid, what can I do with whatever. So we have a list of stuff that we collect, stuff that we pick up for a fee. But furniture and bulky items like that, we don't, because we don't really have any use for it. So one of the things that we're going to try to come up with is figure a way to be able to take some of those bulky items and to help the residents. Because I think if we do that, we'll probably see a lot less furniture under the bridge and things like that. I mean, in terms of cleanliness for our city, people who I live in Pawtucket. People from Pawtucket tells me, Central Falls is a lot cleaner. It's like well maintained and although we're square mile. But we do a lot for the city, and we with the minimal staffing that we do have. And we also going to be working with the police department to increase the number of speed bumps in the city. I mean, it's certainly been one of the mayor's highlight issues that she definitely wants to. People call all the time, and I tell them, well, I can't do that. You have to talk to these guys, and they'll do their own traffic study, and then tell us where we need to put these things. Now we have put out those that we had, and those in the same location we had last year, so those locations exist. But the mayor has budgeted money for us to actually buy more speed bumps so we can walk about the city. Some questions?
Simply. I'm sorry, I want to thank you and I want to say I'm sorry because I'm one of those that bleed all the time when calling me for different reasons. This part of what people do when they call for some reasons or call. But I thank you because I've been willing to buy and always solve the issues or the potholes or whatever issue is in the horizon. So you always pay for that. So overall, I see your budget which is $8,000 less than last year, which is great. But I also see that we are also like almost 62,000 in removal of the trash and the recycling. And let you know.
So for the trash removal and recycling, obviously the contract came in due. So this year we're re-upping our contract with Magnet Disposal. So that's where the increase comes in. So I'm not sure if that's the right.
Yeah, that's the question because I mean that's what I see that the numbers increase a lot. But even though that I know your budget is under last year, which is great, but I let know when they call and you have to negotiate with them, they come with the numbers, we just have to comply or we.
No, we have these discussions. I mean, actually, we compare what we are getting charged with other municipalities. Yeah, I think to a certain extent. I mean, they are one of the only disposal company that actually will come into Central, given the size, given the narrowness of the streets, and the type of equipment that they use, which is mostly man-handled each container. Now, like the fact that it has the automated machine, but I mean, their streets are a little bigger and it's a little different. So yeah, I mean, that makes that feel. Yeah, so every year, it's built into the budget that every year it goes up, I think it's like 5 or 6%, something like that.
So I think this budget represents the new contract negotiation, and that contract is slated to be for 5 years.
Right.
So we will know each year what it is going forward. So I think this year, it was 6 or 7% increase.
So when you do that price for 5 years, but it's mean every year going to be increasing some percentage?
Yes.
So it's built in. So we just signed a new contract. Matt is actually looking it over. With the legal opinion, and we made some changes to the contract. But every year it increases a little bit.
So I think part of the negotiation isn't just money, it's added services where we feel there's lacking and try and build that into better customer service within the contract as well.
So it's great to work with you all the time, and I need to know if you, that trade on Hunt Street is already...
Well, it's gone. It's gone, and we're hoping to replace it with another trade. So we tried to set, we tried to set it up right, but that didn't work. So we took it out.
No, that's what I asked. So I pass it and I see it's not there anymore. So it's going to come back. But thank you so much because you always, when I call you for, say me, all the others that want to, I visit other person for different reasons and what. Every time I reach out to you, you will reply and solve the issue. So thank you very much.
Yeah, no, I think sometimes when we don't, if we don't react right away, I think, what I'm saying is certainly we would have reacted much quicker if we were at full capacity. Sometimes there's things that we don't do, every day because we just don't have the physical capability to do that. So, yeah, so be a little patient anyway. If you do have a request and we don't get to it right away. But we haven't forgotten. It's just, it will be done eventually.
Thank you. No, you're doing good. I'm good.
What did Franklin have? His money tree put down in front of his house?
No, there's no tree up for now. I got the high line in there, so they don't block it. Yeah, but I don't think definitely I know.
I thank you too. I know I called today, and everything was taken care of. So
Yeah, no,
we appreciate that.
They told them. They told them to call.
No, it's everyone was always very nice and pleasant, and they worked hard.
Yes.
I have to say, yes. As I said, I can't make mention enough. Of course, the dedication of. So, and again, if you look at the age of the gentlemen who actually work, we're now having. Of course, we have like We got 3 Latinos and we got 3, 4 or 5 Caucasian males. And the Caucasian males are all the older ones.
Yeah.
And they're the ones actually coming in, they're really putting out the effort. And they're on their way out. I mean, Richard's been there 38 years or something like that. Reno's been there 27 or something like that. So yeah, I mean, they're going out and they're bringing in new folks actually from here, from the States.
We work on development.
Well, we did take the doors off for you. I mean, it was like,
Very
nice.
Oh, thank you so much. It was fun. I needed it. They was fun out.
Oh my God.
Well, some people I knew, I got excited and I didn't make it happy, but the vehicle was on about 4 miles an hour, but it felt like it wasn't moving. So my group home came there, made it sit there, help, she said, what are you doing? But anyway, it's still steady on that. Anyone else?
I got a question. What about that truck?
But I have to say, I think over the last three years or so, we have gotten 3 pieces of equipment. Normally, I mean, we have to thank the police or something because most of the cars that we have that we use for the inspectors, are cars that comes from these guys or the housing authority donated a couple of trucks that they didn't use. I mean, we are definitely the stepchild. I mean, we don't have all the equipment that we need, but we do, and as you witnessed, we sand it, we weld it, we gum on it, we do whatever we can to actually keep the machine working. But over the last 3 years, I have to say, we've got the bucket truck, we got the vac and jet truck, and then we have the However, we do have other capital items on the list that we certainly like to see funded. But I essentially have gotten the commitment from the mayor and folks up there that yes, eventually will. I mean, obviously, folks have to understand that this thing has a new budget. We can't all have regular car like police things. That's why they're saving money on gas.
So you're only using the leftover and I know.
Yeah, so I really have that.
Chief, what's going on here?
Where do you see the Ferrari? Where do you see the Ferrari the chief did?
No.
Director Burrows, there's a dump truck in here.
No, that's what I'm saying. So that's right. We do have items and
That was the problem.
Welcome.
You get a new one, brand new.
It only has 3 tires,
That's
that make it work, right?
Well, some of the trucks that we do have, I mean, obviously, it's been there forever. I mean, they have very low mileage because they don't go anywhere. It's like 30 some odd thousand miles, but it's just not hell. It's just the salt and everything else that and the way we use the vehicle.
I also echo, and I know I text and call often. So just thank you for your accessibility, for allowing yourself to be accessible to us, and for always, responding and making sure everything is taken care of. I loved to hear what you were saying about sidewalks and speed bumps, because I know that's something that I've also been sort of pushing.
We're there now. We're next year.
And so I love hearing that, and part of what we do is advocate for these things. So I love when sort of all of that comes together. Like we have these conversations, we talk to the chief of staff a lot. I'm sure we relay information. The mayor is sort of on the same page with us. You can just see all of the things come together. And so anyway, I just love to hear that. I wanted to ask about the informative notices for snow removal and trash recycling, etc. Because one of the things we've been talking about, and I know some of the other members of the council talking about this, is like making sure, for example, someone moves in or someone buys a house, like how do they go about getting, if they don't have, their barrels, like how can they get barrels, what's actually recyclable, it's not like that type of stuff, so I liked that that's one of your goals, and it's an ongoing goal, and we're, just wanted to sort of, I guess, thank you for that, because that's one of the hot topics that we've been talking about, and ensuring that people have that information, especially too around dark waste, and disposal. Some people will call me, like, I don't know, every Friday, they'll come pick it up if they leave it outside, and also it's like having that information is really helpful, and the furniture, oh my God, that as well, because that's something that we've been talking about too. I know Councilman, with our residents, I've also been in there, because it's just sort of, there was a point, I don't know if it's working anymore, where Kentucky residents could go and, bring in large items to the disposal and stuff. I don't know if it's active anymore, but even when you think about something like that. So anyway, I'm glad that that's on your radar too, because that is one of the biggest issues that we sort of hear about in terms of where residents call here, like, this is how I get rid of it. If I put it on my sidewalk, even if I want to put it out for free, I'm going to get a ticket. And so, so it's just nice to know. Ask about salt. So I know in the past your department has provided free salt in what I see intervals, but it made me think of it and just making sure that it's still available for residents. So I know that was definitely something that was also top of mind for the people.
Those quality of life issues, I mean, I think that certainly goes a long way. I think we do get an awful lot of calls about what can I do with this, or what, I have yard waste, and normally, obviously, the contract that we have with Megger basically said they're here on a Friday. I mean, they're here on Friday to pick up yard waste. So people need to know that. I mean, we do have a little bulletin board in the office, so when people do come in, they look at it and say, okay, after Christmas, we pick up Christmas tree on these next 3 or 4 weeks, and then it goes running.
Right.
And then yard waste pickup starts, I don't know, like April 12th or something.
Yeah.
So we do, when people do call, and they called mostly for quality of life issue, and because they did something wrong that they did not know they couldn't. And so they were penalized for it, and sort of trying to make amends for why they did it.
That education is good anyway. The last question I had was around the building inspector.
Yeah.
It just looks like it's a new line, but I assume maybe it's like a reclass of some other line item that was there, or is that a new person?
It's always been.
No, the line, the expense has always been there, but it was within professional services before.
I guess that's
So because we have the electrical and the plumbing separated, we just thought for transparency, let's put the building inspector, because it's not an employee either.
Okay.
So, yeah.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Thank you.
And just going back to what Councilman said, one of the issues people don't realize is they overfill their trash can. So the lid's up, and they get a yellow rubber stick, whatever it is. That's the reason that cover has to be closed. And I'll tell you what, since we got those flaps, I believe the moving problem has gone down. I believe they were. But again, just reminding the residents, if that covers up, flaps up, it's gonna be closed. And if it overflow, I know I see a lot of the stickers, which means they're doing their job. Maggie's doing their job. So thank you for that. Just reminding the residents that the problem. I think if there's no other questions, you guys do a great job. Take care of the October. Thank you for Monday. I finally found out Lee Greenwood. Since God bless the USA.
don't know, but I'm gonna look him up.
Look him up. Look him up. So we got Lee Greenwood there back on the staff. He said that was. Other than that, if there's no questions, I thank you, Chief.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Chief Mello left. Thank you, Chief. Comes out.
Chief Bell's daughter.
Is it labor? I know you said she got labor.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Well, she could be, but.
Yeah, well,
With that, we're going to move.
I make a motion. Okay.
Stand adjourned at 7:07. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, council. Thank you, DPW, and